This is going to be a short tutorial to learn how to sit more comfortably on the floor. So I'm going to be pulling in some of the techniques I know from physical therapy and using that to help you get more comfortable for meditation or an upright shavasana, or even just to be on the floor during your class or your home practice in a way that feels more at ease in your body. So all you need for this is a folded blanket, a folded towel, or even a throw pillow will do just fine. So the first thing to know about sitting is that no matter how long you've done yoga, you've practiced yoga, depending on the shape of your pelvis and the shape of your hips, you may be working a little extra hard if you don't have a cushion underneath of you just sitting flat on the floor. So right now, if you can see my spine, it looks straight up and down, but I'm actually working on some small level to make sure that I don't fall backwards, because this would be my tendency right here. So I'm sort of chronically, if I don't have anything underneath me, pushing my pelvis into an anterior tilt relative to where it would like to be. So the solution to that, so that you're not working so hard just to stay upright, is to add a little bit of a towel or a blanket or even a stack of blocks. It can be as much or as little as your body needs. And what you may have noticed is that now my sacrum, the back of my pelvis, is at a natural tilt. We're going to call that the kickstand. It's like holding me up. My low back muscles don't have to work so hard, and I can really just stack. Now, speaking of posture, we don't want to be in this posture when we're sitting or standing for that matter. It's not going to harm you for a minute or two, but you don't want to make it a habit to stick your ribs out. You want to think of the ring that's at the bottom of your rib cage, the ring that's at the top of your rib cage, the ring that's at the top of your pelvis, and the ring, we'll call it a ring, at the bottom of your pelvis. And you want those four things to stack up. So yes, there is a little bit of an anterior tilt happening here, but you don't want it to happen so much that your belly sticks out. You want to find that neutral ground that feels like everything is stacked. Once those parts are stacked up, the roof of your mouth should be resting right over top, in line, like in a plumb line with the pelvic floor. Ears over shoulders is another way to put that. So this feels really easy for me. This feels really nice, like I could stay here a while. One last thing you'll notice about this is that my arm is bisecting my rib cage. So it's not in front of my rib cage and it's not behind the rib cage. It's really falling more or less through the center, maybe a little bit to the back, depending on the camera angle. This is the way to get comfortable in meditation. Now, if you're tight in your hips and your knees come up high, number one, you can stuff a couple of blocks or more blankets under your knees, but try this trick out next time you want to sit comfortably in the floor. You can do this in cross-legged or you can do this in Baddha Konasana. Hands come to the inner thighs, close to the knees, and you're going to contract your inner thigh muscles by squeezing in and up and holding for a good 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be the biggest contraction, just think like a nice firm handshake. After that 5 seconds is up, relax and see if the muscles allow you to go a little bit further. In the moment of relaxation, a component of the muscle called the muscle spindle actually allows more length in the muscle overall, and you can take advantage of that by using this physical therapy technique called contract relax to get into poses that would otherwise be a little bit uncomfortable. So again, press up into your hands, hold it for just about 5 seconds, and relax. Now, if you're not noticing a difference, no big deal. You can also couple this with something called reciprocal inhibition, which is just the idea that if one set of muscles is working, the opposite muscle is gonna not have a lot of resistance to it. So in this case, you want your outer hip muscles to work. So you're gonna push down into your hands, and this is gonna naturally allow the inner thigh muscles to turn off. And then notice if that makes a difference. So again, push up, 5 seconds. As you relax, you might push down, scooping your hands under the knees. Try not to, you're kind of like creating a little firm fight with your knees to make sure they don't pull up. And those two techniques, the contract, relax, and reciprocal inhibition, will help you to access the muscle tightness component of whatever's keeping you comfortable from being comfortable sitting on the floor. Now, whatever it is, don't try and override your own body's skeletal structure or what naturally feels good to you. Your nervous system is going to be a lot happier if you bring the floor to you, like with this folded blanket that I have here, rather than forcing your body into a position just because it looks good. So play with these 3 techniques, the stacking, the finding that little kickstand of the sacrum, the reciprocal inhibition, and the contract relax for your inner thighs. And let me know in the comments below how this is feeling in your body. If you're able to sit a little more comfortably on the floor, if you find your mind a little more relaxed during meditation. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dr. Ariele Foster.